So, our first speaker is Marcos, and he is actually what we call a repeat offender. And what that means is that he actually spoke at Fuckup Nights before. He spoke at our very first event 8 years ago. And he's back tonight to share a fresh fuck up because let's face it, failure is not just a one time thing. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're, putting yourself out there and doing new things, you're bound to fuck up again. And there's always something that you can learn from it. So Marcus is joining us again. Marcus is the ultimate binge watcher. He can easily finish an entire season of a show in 3 to 5 days. He's had a total of 75 fedoras throughout his lifetime. And the fedora that he's wearing right now was custom made by Coupe de Tete and was picked up this morning. Marcus, come on up here and share your fuck up.
On the edge of the precipice. Doesn't feel very good to be running in circles. I lost my essence by jumping through hurdles and turned to a pessimist left with his journals. The trigger was pressed by lingering stress. So can I make money?
All right. Hi, everybody. Good to see you. Okay. Ironically, that game of standing up, I had something like that. And it, like, great minds think alike, right? So we're going to play my game. Oh, that's okay. It's part of the speech. So just raise your hand if you're an entrepreneur. I want to gauge the room. Just raise your hand if you're an entrepreneur. Now keep your hand up if you're a business owner. Are you a business owner? Just raise your hand. Yeah, business owners. Now raise your hand if you've ever fucked up. Just raise your hand. Yeah. So with that, just do me a quick favor. Keep your hand up like that. Look to the left of you and then look to the right of you and give that person a great big high five and say, yeah, I fucked up. Yeah, I fucked up. Yeah, big high five. I fucked up. We've all fucked up. Seeing that happen makes me feel comfortable up here because everything she said to preface this experience is 100% right. Like, how many times I message her and be like, no, I'm not going to do it. Sorry, find somebody else. Like, this is crazy. What are you talking about? I don't want to air out my shit. My ex-fiance is going to see this. My clients are going to see this. Like, there was a lot of processing in coming up here to share this. So the fact that we've all fucked up makes me feel like not that big of a fuck up. So thank you so much for framing this experience as an opportunity to fail forward, which is ultimately my intention that I set coming here, which was so that we can all fail forward and not give up on our dreams. So my fuck up is broken down into three parts. I fucked up because I had to dissolve my multi-million dollar agency. I fucked up because I fucked up my relationship with my fiance. And I fucked up because I promised my parents that I would retire them, asked them to move to Costa Rica with me, and then while living in Costa Rica, fucked up my health, fucked up my relationship, and fucked up my business to the point where I couldn't keep them retired. So when they had to fly back to Canada, they flew back to pretty much nothing and they had to start all over again. So my fuck ups were pretty devastating in the sense that I lost my business, my relationship, and my family's respect. That's all. Good night. Thank you very much. No, a little bit about me. So I am going to get into the story of how that all happened so that you can learn what not to do. And hopefully that helps you when you move forward and fail forward. So I'm a 4-time award-winning public speaker. I used to be the head of operations at the Think and Grow Rich Institute. If you've ever read Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, I was one of the instructors at the Institute. I'm the owner of Coachable. Coachable is essentially a school that helps coaches become better marketers and think like entrepreneurs. It used to be a marketing agency where we would build coaching companies for coaches, but then the dissolution of that company resulted in me having to follow my heart and not follow the money, which we'll talk about. What else about me? I am a rapper. I've been rapping for 24 years. I'm a pianist, self-taught. I've been playing the piano for 23 years. And I'm a self-proclaimed Artrapreneur. Like, I found a way to bridge the money between passion and profit. So if you are an artist and you make money from it, you are an Artrapreneur. So definitely give yourself that kind of love. So me, I guess this is the best way to tell you vulnerably is I prepared this speech, this talk, with one major fuck up for one major rule or year that I lived throughout my entire life. So this one is me being a public speaker. So winning four public speaking competitions gave me a sense of security that had me feel like I have the gift of the gab. I deserve to be called. People should be calling me and paying me $50,000 a keynote. And I let that get to my head. I did not promote my public speaking career or skill. I didn't shop myself as a contribution. I made it about the clout. So as I was building my career, imagine you win a public speaking competition and you think, yo, I'm amazing. And then you win another public speaking competition and you think, yo, I'm amazing. And then the third public speaking, you're like, yo, I'm amazing. And the fourth one, you're like, oh my God, I'm amazing. I let it get to my head and I fucked up because I didn't shop myself from a place of servitude. And that was the lesson that I had to learn, which was nobody's gonna come calling me just because I think highly of myself because of my accolades. So the first fuck up was convincing myself that my accolades and my credentials were enough of a reason for people to trust the value of me being in servitude. So don't do that. Think and Grow Rich. Dream come true. I grew up idolizing Bob Proctor. You guys remember when The Secret came out? Bob Proctor, Esther Hicks. You know, The Secret was amazing. I felt this sense of pride when The Secret came out because I was like, I already know this stuff. I already know the law of attraction. I grew up reading books by Anthony Robbins and The Magic of Thinking Big and the law of all these different things, right? So when I manifested the opportunity to become the operations manager at the Think and Grow Rich Institute, that was an actual dream come true for me. And then when I was asked to start teaching the philosophy and I got permission from the Napoleon Hill family to be able to do this, like it was a dream come true for me. However, imposter syndrome kicked in. And what happened was when they offered me the job, they asked me about what I can contribute. And I said that I can contribute a certain sales quota to enroll students into the Think and Grow Rich Institute because it was a startup. It was recently purchased by a man who now had the license to teach Think and Grow Rich. And because I was so hungry, simultaneously so desperate, and simultaneously so scarcity driven by financial scarcity, I promised that I would enroll a certain amount of students when in reality, I had been working as a construction worker with a trim carpenter, with a tape measure and a hammer, and I knew nothing about sales. So I overpromised and I underdelivered, and that resulted in me fucking up on my word because I was selfish about thinking that I could fake it to make it. The next fuck up. So this is what I did to try to redeem myself at the Institute. I had a dream of doing theater, but I'm not an actor. I had a dream of being a speaker, but I wasn't promoting myself. I had a dream of being an entrepreneur, but I didn't know what an entrepreneur was. Like, I figured if I could do what I call performance seminars, which are blend live music, visual arts, dance choreography, and public speaking, all into a theatrical environment, I could then manifest my dream of producing these events that would touch, move, and inspire people. So what I did was I got a $30,000 loan. I put my hand up at a Landmark event, if anybody knows Landmark. I enrolled somebody. This amazing woman stood up. She said, I have a line of credit of 30 grand. I'll give you the money for your dream. Little did she know that the dream was so that I could heal the fuck up that I did at Think and Grow Rich, which was that I couldn't enroll any students, right? Because that came with the deal. I'll let you teach if you get me the students. So what did I do? I took the $30,000 and I went shopping. I went shopping. I did not invest in a marketing budget. I went to Zara. I did all kinds of things wrong. I had a very serious poor little boy mentality when it came to money. It was very much desperate for the money, watching my parents struggle. It was just like the money. I got 30 grand. I'm a big deal. I got a condo downtown. I put the down payment. Like, it was crazy. I spent that lady's money. So then when it came time to produce this event, which was at the Imperial Oil Center at the Ontario Science Center, which was expensive as fuck, I had to get all those butts in seats. So I had to parachute the tickets, meaning at the end, the last 3-4 days, it's like you throw a batch of 10 tickets, batch of 20 tickets, batch of 10 tickets, just with the hopes that people will show up, because there's nothing like producing an event and not having people show up. Because at the very least, if on camera it looked like you did a good event, then maybe your next event will do well as well. So bums in seats is super important. I parachuted tickets. There's 500 people in this audience. I'm using this as a lead magnet to sample what it's like to learn from the Think and Grow Rich Institute so that I can enroll all these 500 people to become the students. Did it work? Yes, it worked. A lot of them became students at Think and Grow Rich, and I got to keep my job. However, it cost me $30,000. So I fucked up. Coachable. I fucked up Coachable pretty bad because I suck with money. I spent more than I earned. I didn't save anything, and I did not invest. So what I learned the hard way was that I got complacent with my earnings because I was making so much money that I've never seen before, that I started to overpromise and underdeliver to my family so that I can keep my parents retired, while simultaneously self-sabotaging myself and my business because I created a system of money generating that made me so much money so quickly that I believed that it was always going to be this way. It was always going to be this way. The system I created was a referral, an affiliate system, $1,000 to $2,000 for every client that referred us to somebody. So we had clients edifying the fuck out of us all the time because all they had to do was say, oh, you got to work with Marcos. And boom, they make $1,000 because there's something better about word of mouth than there is about advertising. If it comes from a trusted source, you don't have to go through the whole qualification and prospecting process. Rather, it's just a connection. And in that connection, it's like, yeah, I totally trust you because Mike trusts you. I totally trust you because Jennifer trusts you. And that helped us create a stream of revenue that helped us scale the company to, millions of dollars, really. And I fucked it up because I did not save a penny of it. Not a penny. I spent it and I didn't invest it. So for the camera, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, because I fucked that up. And that led me to fuck up another thing where during the pandemic, I was like, yo, we're doing good. I was in a relationship. I was engaged to be married. And I was like, let's skip the pandemic. Let's go live in a bougie, barefoot luxury lifestyle in Nosara, Costa Rica. Fuck these mandates. Fuck the pandemic. Let's go. So we sold everything. If you've ever moved countries, say aye. It's hard, man. Like leaving your family, leaving your stuff, it's hard. So in my case, the fuck up was because I moved to a country living inside of the energy of imposter syndrome because the money wasn't necessarily there. The money was coming. And so because the money was coming, I had to work extra hard to solidify that. And when things did not work out in that regard, well, I got sick. Living in Costa Rica was probably the worst experience of my entire life. I got dengue fever, a bladder infection, COVID, and lived with a mold infection, black mold, that I had no idea what was wrong with me the whole time. So I was suffering, for lack of a better term. It was the most difficult and confusing time of my entire life because I could not understand why I felt so shit all the time. I'm living in paradise. Smoothies, yoga, breathwork, and ecstatic dance. I should be fucking fantastic. I wasn't. I was struggling because I was in the feminine energy of this vortex that is Costa Rica, with Gaia and Mother Nature pulling my masculine energy that wants to be in the matrix making moves, and I could not function as a spiritual entrepreneur that wanted to keep working. Instead, what I did was I got sick. And in getting sick, I couldn't run the business. And because I couldn't run the business, that sickness essentially destroyed me because it also destroyed my relationship. Why? Because if you know anything about masculine and feminine energetics, I went from my masculine money-making provider energy to the feminine, help me, provide, please, run the company, to my partner, please, save us energy. And I lost my masculinity, and in that masculinity, lost her love, and lost her respect, and lost everything. So her and I, it was a beautiful relationship, and I'm so thankful for her. I haven't spoken to her in quite some time, but I now understand how I fucked that up. So if you're watching this, I'm sorry. This photo, this is when my parents arrived to Costa Rica. I promised them, like, yeah, let the house go, let the cars go, let everything go. Come to Costa Rica, paradise living. I made them that promise, so they did. They did. They came. My sister, imagine, it was 11 of us. My sister, 3 dogs. Like, it was crazy. Everybody came to Costa Rica. And in this photo, I was suffering with the mold infection. I just got over dengue fever. I had the bladder infection, and I was feeling like absolute shit. I was struggling to smile, very much so, because I wanted my mother to feel like nothing was wrong. I was protecting my mother from feeling like, hey, your son is a fuck up. This photo was hard because my dad took the photo and they were so happy, so elated by the views. And I was just like suffering inside, like, please take me home with you. I wish we could go back to Canada, but we couldn't, right? Because we escaped the pandemic, and that's a whole other fucking keynote. So I spent money. This is our house. I was like, well, how much do you need? How much you need? How much you need? Because my life's purpose was to retire my parents. How much do you need? How much do you need? Here you go. How much do you need? Oh, don't worry. You know how much I have in the pipeline? I got you. Don't worry. I deserve this success. I deserve it. But it came from a stack of healing that did not happen, and a sense of ignorance that I can't even believe I'm even talking about this with you guys. Like, it was in my blind spots, crazy amounts of fucking blind spots. So, fast forward now, 4 years, the comeback. The comeback, well, now I'm working out. I've been celibate for 8 months. I've been fucking like crushing it on business. Coachable is scaling again. You know, I have 2 albums in the works right now. I went full time on my music. I'm back into having a sense of pride. My ego has been surrendered and diminished. I feel like I'm in a very good place because the comeback essentially required me learning a few things. So, number 1, health is true wealth. Health is true what? Health is what? Health is true wealth. So no matter how much money you make or how ambitious you are, my biggest crutch was that I would say, I'm not stressed, I'm ambitious. Entrepreneur code, right? It's ambition. I'm not stressed, I'm ambitious. I'm not burnt out, I'm just tired. No, I'm dying inside. Somebody help me. Can I get some capital, please? Right? Like, health is true wealth. So prioritize that and you will experience the most amazing growth that you possibly can. Be mindful of codependent ways of being. I fucked up my relationship because I was codependent to her to save me. I was codependent and I didn't even know what it was. When we broke up, she wrote me a list of the 16 reasons why she fell out of love with me. Those 16 reasons were things that I thought, but this is just who I am. And I realized in that moment as she read me the letter, well, we're not compatible. So if she wants me to change all these things that are innately who I am, and I'm innately unhappy with who I am, then I have to request for us to uncouple. And it was in the uncoupling experience where I had to sacrifice my love for her and the fight that I was willing to go for to have her honor me and approve of me, because I realized that she would never. Because if she needed me to change all these things that were about me in order for me to feel her love, then I would be inauthentic to myself. Instead, I couldn't live trying to change to have her approval and love. Instead, I needed to separate myself from who I became, and then ultimately take on the responsibility of becoming a better man and a better human being. And in that became the beginning of my healing journey, right? So that was hard. Heal the poor little boy in you. The poor little boy in me is essentially, and the poor little girl in you is essentially the version that saw their parents struggle, right? So if you saw your parents struggle, there's a good chance that you'll either be projecting scarcity into the world, or you will live disillusioned to what money means to you. And when you have it, you will spend it recklessly because you think that you have to prove to yourself that you deserve this money because your family comes from a generation that suffered, right? So heal that part of you when you do get a little bit of money. Distribute your money into buckets and don't let yourself touch your savings or investments. Pay yourself and live off that. As an entrepreneur, how many people spend the money that's supposed to be distributed into the bucket of their taxes? Go ahead, I'll wait. Everybody does it, right? So pay yourself as an employee of your business and then live off that and have the discipline to not have access to your finances. That's how I got my comeback. I stopped having access because if I had access, I would justify the reason why I deserve to spend it, right? So that was an important lesson for me to learn. And never let yourself think that success is supposed to feel easy. Success is not supposed to feel easy. Success is supposed to feel challenging. It's progress that's supposed to feel easy. Progress is a flow state. And that's what I learned. That success is actually just succession. Succession is progression. And in progress, I feel like I'm making moves. I feel like things are changing. Energetically, I'm a vibe. You attract your tribe. Beautiful things start to happen. So ultimately, what I want to leave you with is a poem that I wrote specifically for you guys, but also just the message of just failing forward. Like, in the last 10 years, I have had devastating losses, absolutely fucking devastating losses. But I'm still here. I'm still self-employed, still an entrepreneur, right? You know, like still going, healed my money wound. I'm worthy of love. I'm ready to attract my partner. I'm not codependent. Like all these things that I had to learn. It's like, well, some of us are just built like this. We're built with the resilience to be able to take on the responsibility of owning our shit. And I am that guy. And I invite you to be that guy as well, if this is innately who you are, which is a purpose-driven, mission-driven entrepreneur. All right? So with that said, I want you to remember to set standards, decide what your non-negotiables are, and live consistently with your core values. That's the recipe that I want you to walk away with, all right? So let's start the song from the beginning, and I'm going to read you this poem, and we're going to turn the music up just a little bit. Here we go. You see, non-negotiables are a way of raising the bar. They're a guidance system that confronts you with the truth about all of your scars. They give you a sense of comfort to help you dream with the stars. They're a form of discipline that helps you choose over what's easy and what's hard. It's been said that if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. As entrepreneurs, we're bombarded by information that has us curiously question and sometimes even doubt whether we're good enough to outsmart our adversities. Some of us are living with imposter syndrome because we didn't go to university. We're unemployable because we're the living embodiment of our beliefs around diversity, and we're easily influenced by coincidence and self-certainty. Certainly, you're all familiar with the benefits of having the self-discipline to imagine a possibility. You're probably really good at pairing a possibility with the likelihood of a probability, and because of that, you believe in the power of your ability. As high performers, you're like Bumblebee and Optimus Prime, Transformers. You shapeshift your identity to align with the times, and in doing so, flow like a river, as well as I'm flowing with these rhymes. When you're grooving, you're moving. And the truth is, once you catch like a spark, you ignite into a flame. Business becomes like a game, and success becomes about more than just fortunes and fame. It becomes about how much fulfillment you gain, how much resilience to the pain, how much more calibrated you can aim. When's the last time you paused and looked back at what you became? Having non-negotiables is about embodying a superpower that helps you conquer your shame. It's a way of communicating between you and the world about what your standards are. When you think about non-negotiables, I want you to think about core values. If you were to treat your business the way you treat someone you love, would your business be better? If you were to treat yourself the way you treat someone you love, would your self-worth get better? I get that you're a goal setter, a trend setter, and a go-getter. The truth is you're absolutely remarkable, and the things that you've achieved are rarely embarkable. Between the twists and turns, the money you've burned, and the nights where you've tossed and you've turned, you'd have to be pretty unique to endure the uncertainty of what is unknown. But with you, you're different. The unknown is a quest that you're committed to conquering. It's a journey that you're open to honoring. It's an opportunity for you to create an economy. It's a pathway toward autonomy. The only reason you're here amongst us and in this community is because you've succeeded at believing that there is power in unity. You're here because you believe in opportunity. Perhaps you already have non-negotiables. Perhaps you don't. If you do, then you live by a specific set of standards, and that's why you're winning. If you don't, then those standards are going to be set today. It's my job to help you find your way. That's my why. So learn from my fuck-ups and get the fuck out of your own way. Thank you.
Wow, what a way to start our show. Marcus, thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming back and for sharing another fuck up with us. That was amazing. And I just gotta say, if somebody wait, don't go anywhere. We have a couple Q&A. Okay. But yeah, I just gotta say, if somebody writes you a list of all the things that you have to change about yourself to be in a relationship, that's not the right person for you. You should not have to change yourself
I
for
appreciate
someone.
that. Yeah, thank you so much.
So I would love to open it up for some Q&A. We don't have a ton of time, but we'll take a couple questions. Just raise your hand if you have a question, and one of our team members is going
What's
to
up,
come to
buddy?
you.